Brand new week, fresh new slate of material off the Mississippi State game. This week's focus, Western Carolina for the Crimson Tide inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. You're locked and loaded. Hottest show on the streets, best form of Crimson Tide football news, notes, and information. That being in my own words, the podcast with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you go ahead and drop a like on the show and subscribe via YouTube because that tells us here at TDA. Gotta continue to keep the Crimson Tide fan base with news, notes, updates, and content on the Crimson Tide. The show powered each and every time by our good friends at WhitwillSports.com, that being Title Towel. Be sure to pick up a couple of those towels today, showing your support for Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide, team with 2 games left on the regular season slate. So be sure to go by WhitwillSports.com, Title Towel, purchase you a couple of those towels today. The first piece of big news came on Monday as true freshman defensive back Jeffrey, otherwise known as Scooby Carter, decided to place his name in the NCAA transfer portal. He did this via tweet on social media. As much as he has enjoyed and appreciated what the coaching staff here at Alabama has done for him and the relationships that he has built with the players on the team, Carter has decided to take his talents elsewhere, placing his name in the NCAA transfer portal. Once again, this news came out on Monday. At 6 feet, 186 pounds, the true freshman out of Mansfield, Texas, Carter was a 4-star prospect according to the Touchdown Alabama Magazine recruiting database, one of the top coverage corners in the 2019 signing class. He decided to choose the University of Alabama over Oregon, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. And while this hurts the Tide in terms of depth, Alabama has actually been stockpiling defensive backs in respective signing classes since 2016. And though it will lose the senior leadership of Trayvon Diggs, Shaheem Carter, and Jared Mayton to graduation after this year, and also those guys will move on to the National Football League should they choose that route. Also, along with that, if junior defensive back Xavier McKinney, decides to put his name in the draft hat, he will be gone as well. But even with that, you return the likes of Josh Jobe, Jalen Armour-Davis, Jordan Battle, Eddie Smith, Daniel Wright, Brandon Turnage, just a number of different guys. Along with those, if these particular players for the 2020 class decide to sign their letter of intent for the Crimson Tide, and referring to the likes of Malachi Moore, Brian Branch, and Jaquez Robinson, there are some guys right there. So despite Scooby Carter putting his name in the NCAA transfer portal, Crimson Tide still has got some guys in this defensive backfield that will look to step up, emerge, grow, and continue to play big-time football and learning the system here under Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. So that was just some news right there. Going back to over the weekend against Mississippi State, I understand the situation with Tua. Everybody was caught up in the smoke about that, and rightfully so. A transcendent name, a once-in-a-generational type talent. Just very, very happy he's okay, that the surgery he had in Houston, Texas went well, and that he's expected to make. And due to this young man's personality and his toughness, he will fight and he will push to make that full recovery. But aside from the dislocated hip of Tagovailoa, Alabama also had the likes of defensive lineman Raekwon Davis and DJ Dale go down, and also wide receiver Henry Ruggs III sustaining injuries against the Bulldogs. Raekwon Davis with an ankle, DJ Dale with a knee, and Henry Ruggs III suffered bruised ribs. Now, according to Nick Saban on Monday, all 3 guys will be questionable for this matchup against Western Carolina, which means in terms of the defensive line with Raekwon Davis and DJ Dale questionable, Nick Saban talked about how this presents playing time in this matchup for true freshman Justin Boygby and also Byron Young. Both of these guys have played quite a bit so far this season, so nothing new to them, but just more playing time in the fact that Dale and Raekwon Davis both questionable. This also opens the door for more Christian Barmore. Hey, fans, you have been excited about this. You want to see more of this man on the field. He's been dominant when he's been out there. He has shown that he wants to be on the field. He wants to make plays. He wants to be a big part of that Bama factor, so this opens the door more for Christian Barmore. Nick Saban also mentioned that this opens opportunities for some other freshmen that may have not gotten as much playing time this year. Probably this is a chance for somebody like a Brandon Ingram or an Ishmael Sopser, being that, once again, haven't played much this season. They will have a chance to see some time on the field, but still in pocket to keep that red shirt in place. So with, the likes of Dale, Raekwon Davis questionable, opens up some doors for other defensive linemen. In terms of Henry Ruggs III and the bruised ribs, this opens up more opportunities for, a guy like Jalen Waddle to get, more targets on the field. Devontae Smith can continue his rhythm, his groove, along with Jerry Jeudy, who's coming off a 100-yard performance against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Could we see more of an opening for guys like John Mechie or Tyrell Shavers or even a Slade Bolden? That remains to be seen, but the likes of Henry Ruggs, questionable as well, so this opens opportunities for other players. So speedy recovery for the likes of Dale, Raekwon Davis, and Henry Ruggs III, knowing that all those three guys, big names, marquee guys that supply some leadership, some toughness, and have played throughout the entire season thus far. So just coming on here to start this new edition of shows, giving you the update on Jeffrey, better known as Scooby Carter, and some other injuries on the front, being Raekwon Davis, DJ Dale, and Henry Ruggs. And where does Alabama go from here in getting some other guys prepared to go out and play against Western Carolina? That's going to lead us now to our first break here on this week's edition of shows. As always, you download the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. Get that today for your iPhone if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you've got the Android phone. The podcast options wherever your listening audio pleasures may be, they're listed right there for you at the bottom of the screen. You can also subscribe to TD, AlabamaMag.com for all the latest, and Touchdown Alabama Magazine on YouTube, the site with over 6,000 subscribers strong, thanks to you, the fans. Also, gotta always give a shout out to our latest sponsor, Utero Hibachi. If you're looking for delicious sushi, great hibachi, and takeout, our friends at Utero Hibachi, they have you covered. They are located at the University Mall Food Court in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Delivery for them can be found on Crimson2go and also Waitr. Tell them when you walk in that the guys at Touchdown Alabama Magazine sent you, and our good friends at Utero Hibachi. Once again, delicious sushi, great hibachi. They will take care of you right there. When we return from the other side of the break, we will dive into Mac Jones. Tua Tagovailoa out this season. You rally behind Mac Jones. You put your hands around this young man. You push him. You support him. How does he move? How does he lead the team going forward? We'll touch on it on the other side of the break. You're listening to In My Own Words. What's up, college football fans? You can catch the hottest show in the streets, that being In My Own Words, the podcast, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Subscribe to Touchdown Alabama Magazine for the best in Tide football.